Are you ready to read with me? In this video, I'm going to analyze one passage from an authentic IELTS book, Cambridge IELTS 18, Test 3. It is passage 1. So if you have the book, open it and read along with me. So the passage is on page 61, titled Materials to Take Us Beyond Concrete. So should we look at the questions first or the passage first? Well, obviously, we need to get some general ideas. We need to collect some main ideas from the text before we look at the questions. So it's really important to skim the passage first. And by skimming, I mean spending a couple of minutes on the passage itself, looking at the main sentences. And the best parts to look at first are the materials, the heading, which says materials to take us beyond concrete, and the subheading, and the thesis statement, which is the last sentence of the introduction, and the first sentence of each paragraph in the body. Okay? All these first sentences up to the end. Now, materials to take us beyond concrete. Concrete is everywhere, but it's bad for the planet. Okay, bad for the planet. It's about concrete. Generating large amounts of carbon dioxide. Alternatives are being developed. So it's about alternatives to concrete. Fantastic. So they will, okay, is it the last sentence really? Oh no, I think it's here. So scientists have started innovating with other materials in a scramble for alternatives for a universal commodity that has underpinned our modern life for many years. Okay, so they're looking for a universal, alternatives to this universal commodity. Scientists are working on it. Great. So we underline those keywords for later. The problem with replacing concrete is that it is so very good at what it does. Oh, okay, concrete is good. It's very good. And not only are the ingredients of concrete relatively cheap and found in abundance in most places around the globe, the stuff itself, so it's about, first of all, being cheap and abundant, but also the stuff itself has marvelous properties. A possible alternative to concrete is wood, okay? Wood. This paragraph is going to be about wood. Using wood to construct buildings, however, is not straightforward. This is the negative side. Stora Enso, whoever this person is Europe's biggest supplier of cross-laminated timber, and its vice president, blah, 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 reports that the company is seeing increasing demand globally for building in... Okay, so this paragraph seems to be about increasing demand for building in wood. Yeah. Okay, so because of the climate change and so on. Fly ash and slag from iron are also possible alternatives. Okay, other possible alternatives to cement. Okay, it's about cement. But Anna, blah, blah, of the UK's Green Building Journal notes that although these waste products can save carbon in the concrete mix, their use is not always... Okay, again, it's about not being easy, not being straightforward. So what's the benefit of them? Saving carbon in the concrete mix. While these technologies are all promising ideas, okay, they're promising ideas, they're either unproven or based on materials that are not abundant. Okay, unproven or not abundant. That's it. That's our global understanding of the text. And now we look at the questions that follow. There are 4 questions here. Which section? Let me get my marker. Right. Which section? So this is a paragraph. This is a finding information kind of task. You're supposed to match this information with the relevant paragraphs. It's not a good starting point at all. Don't start with this question type because the questions are not in passage order and they require a lot of reading. So it's best to do them at the end of this section. What about this next one? Oh no, this is also a bad one. Complete the summary. Summary completion tasks can also be done or should be done later in the test. Do we have any other questions? 1 to 8 and 9 to 13. Yeah, so 9 to 13. Here we have matching statements with people. Okay, so we got three question types that are not so favorable because, well, so some question types in IELTS are in passage order. Some of them are from a certain area in the text, but these are neither of them. Now, what about this summary? At least I think compared to this task, which asks you to match people with the statements, the summary, we have better luck with the summary, don't you think? Because at least it says making buildings with wood, which means this summary is not from the whole text. It's only about the areas where wood is introduced. I think I remember something about the first time. Yeah, the first time wood was introduced was in section D. That's the relevant area. And also timber and, okay, probably E and F. So D, E, and F. These are the probable areas where these answers are found. Well, yeah, that's, I guess, most likely where we should look. So let's answer these questions first. Wood is, okay, we can read this paragraph, I mean the summary paragraph real quick without worrying about the gaps, because I just want to know where these things are from. So wood is a traditional building material, but current environmental concerns are encouraging blah blah to use wood in modern and current. Okay, using wood, however, has its challenges. Okay, it's about the challenges. We're gonna focus on that too. For example, this is one of the challenges. Can turn into better construction material if it is treated, okay, and combined with other materials. In one process, blah blah of solid wood are glued together to create building blocks. Okay, these blocks, blah blah blah. Experts say that wooden buildings are an improvement to on those made of concrete and steel in terms of and which can be constructed, and how much noise is generated by the process. Okay. So reading this paragraph real fast gives us this confidence that, I mean, at least makes us aware of the contents of the summary. And now we can start from the first one or any of the other ones that are familiar to us. I think the first one, which is the first number 5, seems to be a good starting point because it is about introducing wood as an alternative, and that's most likely here. So wood is, but current environmental concerns are encouraging blah blah to use wood. Encouraging who? Encouraging who? Is driving architects to turn to treated timber. So driving means encouraging. So encouraging architects to do this. So the answer should be architects, right? And for example, as blah blah in the atmosphere enters wood. Okay. There's some challenges. What are the challenges? However, it's not straightforward. So that's the challenge. Wood expands as it absorbs moisture from the air. Oh. Air, atmosphere, enters wood. So that's an example of the challenge. Wood expands as it absorbs moisture from the air. So as moisture in the atmosphere enters wood. So that's the answer. Moisture, how do you spell that? Moisture. Make sure to double check with the text. Yes, it is spelled correctly. And what next? In this process, better construction material if it's treated and combined with other materials. Combined with other materials. Mix. I think this is the mix. In one process, blah blah of solid wood are glued together to make mix. Maybe. What's that again? These blocks are lighter than concrete. So let's find something related to the weight. Lighter than concrete. Okay. Okay. Adhesive. Adhesive means glue. So an adhesive is used to stick layers of solid temperature to light. That's it. That's the answer. The material is light. So are glued together to create blocks. These are lighter than concrete. So what is it that blah blah of solid wood are glued together? Layers of solid wood? Yeah, layers of solid timber. So the answer would be layers. Yes. Next. Experts wouldn't improvement still in terms of what? With which they can be constructed and how much noise is generated. So if I find the word noise or something related to noise, I've been in the right place. Okay. Noise. Quieter. So quiet, noise, they're related. And how much noise is generated by the process. So, and it's quieter. So what's the question again? Experts say the wooden buildings are an improvement on those made of concrete and steel in terms of the blah blah with which they can be constructed. Experts say that wooden buildings can be constructed at a greater speed. Than ones of concrete and steel, and the process, it seems, is quieter. So quieter and speed. In terms of speed, the answer should be speed. Okay, great. Let's go to, okay, now this one, no, I wouldn't do that. I would do this one first. Next. So we have names of people. What we do first is find these names in the text. Chris Cheeseman. Where's Chris? Chris, where are you? Chris Cheeseman. Oh yeah, here we got this person. By the way, when these names appear, when these names come in a box with A, B, C, D's next to them, they come in passage order. So I'll be sure that Chris Cheeseman will be the first person to find, and Flex Preston and blah blah. These guys will be the last in the text. So Marcus, somebody, where's Marcus? Marcus, where are you? Marcus, so Cheeseman again. So these two parts are about Cheeseman, I guess. Marcus, where are you? Marcus. Oh, okay. Here. This is the next person we were looking for. Anna, surgeoner, I guess. Should be after that. Anna, show yourself. Oh yeah, Anna is here. And notice that I'm circling these words. When you scan for words, make sure to circle them rather than underline them, because the underlined sections are ideas. The circles are keywords that you simply need to find for this question. So is that the last person? No, Flix and somebody else. So Flix and Joanna. There we go. So we got these names as well. So we had everybody. Now, we need to read the statements, like the environmental advantages of a sediment may not be as great as, like, this is about environmental advantage. It would be hard to create a construction alternative that offers so many comparable benefits. It would be hard to create. Worries about the environment have led to increased interest in wood. Worries about the environment. Experts. Expense has been a factor in the negative response to development of new cement. This is about the expense. The environmental damage caused by concrete is due to it being produced in larger quantities. Larger and damage. So let's just start with the first person, Chris Cheeseman, or any person who has said the least. I think the last person hasn't said much. We have only a few lines to read. So why not? We can start with this person or these two people. For example, Chris has talked too much. Chris has talked for like 2 paragraphs, I think, at least. So I would start with this last person. So in their overview of innovation in the concrete industry, blah, 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 reached the conclusion that some novel cements have been discussed for more than a decade within the research community without breaking through. At present, these alternatives are rarely as cost-effective as conventional cement. That's about money. Okay, and they face raw material shortages and resistance from consumers. Okay, can we say D is number 12? That's the best answer to me. So I'll write D next to 12 because of the expense and cost effective. So good. So do we need to use this once or more than once? Well, we have five statements and 4 people. So this person might be used more than once. Do we have any other statements relevant to that person? I don't think so. It was a short piece. Now, but of this guy or this guy? Well, this is also a short paragraph. So let's go on with Anna. What did Anna say? Although these waste products can save carbon in the concrete mix, their use is not always as straightforward. Okay, not always as straightforward, not easy. What was that? It was what? It's hard to create. I saw it somewhere. It's not as straightforward. It would be hard to create a construction. No, the environment maybe not be as great as no. So it's possible to replace the cement content in concrete with waste products to lower the overall carbon impact, but there are several calculations that need to be considered across the entire life cycle of the building. These include factoring in where these materials are being shipped from, if they are transported over long distances using fossil fuels, and series of alternatives might not make sense from an overall carbon reduction perspective. So it was a negative approach, attitude, and the may not be as great as initially assumed. Maybe that one would be hard to create. It's not about making it. Have led to increased interest in wood? No. And cause due to its being good product? No. So far this is the best option we have. So Anna seems to be number 9. Well, did she say anything more? I don't think so. I don't see any more statements from this paragraph. So let's go to Marcus. We have 2 more people left, Marcus and Chris. Let's do Marcus first. Or Chris, that doesn't really make a difference. So reports that the company is seeing increasing demand globally for building in wood. Oh yeah, I remember something. Increase. What's happened to my memory? Oh yeah, increased interest in wood. Increased interest in wood. So that would be Marcus. Yes, that's a possible answer. So was it B? Yeah, it was B. What was that? Increasing demand globally for building in wood. So that's right. Anything else? Well, let's check Chris, and then if one of them is still left, then we will read the other the names again. But for now, let's go to Chris and find the obvious answers first. And so the key thing to consider is the extent to which concrete is used around the world. The extent to which, with the amount of large quantities, maybe. It's likely to continue to concrete is not a high carbon product. Cement is high carbon, but concrete is not. But it is it's the scale on which it is used. Yeah, for sure. Scale means quantity, large quantity. So that is A. What is left? Hard to create concrete that offers so many comparable benefits. But it's not. But it's the scale, sheer. Okay. So that's did he continue? Maybe we have this name here again. According to this guy, all these factors together make concrete hard to beat. Oh, hard to beat. Concrete is amazing stuff. Making anything with similar products is going to be very difficult. It would be hard to create a construction alternative to concrete that offers so many comparable benefits. Yeah, it's hard to beat. When it says it's very, what was that? Concrete is hard to beat. Yeah, which means it is not easy to compete with concrete because of the benefits it has. It is amazing stuff, and it's not easy to make similar materials. So that's A again. So it seems like Chris is used more than once, and that's it. And others are used once only. Are we done yet? Let me see. Oh, okay, this is left. So the reason why, I mean, one reason why I said we should do this later is that after answering these other questions, you will have learned a lot about the text now, and by looking at these sentences, you may, or statements or phrases, you may quite easily find where these are from, even without reading much. Let's find out. Okay, reference to, so industrial processes create potential raw materials for concrete. A reference to various locations where high-rise wooden buildings, so we know where wooden buildings are. An indication of how widely available the raw materials of concrete are. Okay, I know somewhere in the text it said that they're abundant. They believe that more high-rise wooden buildings are needed before wood can be regarded as a variable construction material. More high-rise wooden buildings are needed. So let's see which of them we already know about. Concrete being abundant. Where is that? How widely available this is. Number 3, how widely available it is. It's abundant. Where was that? I think it was in the first paragraph. Oh, cheap and abundance. Don't you think? It's cheap and found in abundance in most places around the world. So I would say that 3, for now, I would choose C. Can C be used for another item? No, because it doesn't say so here. When it says you may use one letter more than once, then we're going to have to read C completely. But for now, this is good enough. Now about high-rise wooden buildings. Wood starts from this paragraph. Do you see high-rise buildings here? No. High-rise buildings. High-rise buildings. Wood. Why can't I find any buildings and high-rise buildings? Okay. Well, so this is not working. So, I mean, we first look at the keywords, and if some of them are familiar, we could find them, like what we did in number 3. But it's really risky, so we're going to stop, because otherwise we're going to have to spend a lot of time reading all the paragraphs once for each question. It doesn't really work that way. So instead, we're going to go ahead and read one paragraph and decide if any information is there from these 4 numbers. So let's just start with A. I'm going to read it quietly so I can concentrate. Chemical processes by which cement is made. Industrial processes. Do you think number 1 could be this one? Not completely. There was something mentioned, but it was not an explanation of the processes. Okay, let's go to B. Oh, did we choose B? No. I don't think there was anything there either. So C, we chose C. D, okay, buildings, wood. Tall buildings, okay. Tall buildings constructed almost entirely from timber. So that is high-rise buildings, number 2, and E. Trading. It's about buildings too, but let me see what is left. We need 2 more industrial processes, and I believe that more high-rise wooden buildings are needed. No. Increasing demand globally for building wood. Okay, wood. Large companies seeing a rise in demand for its timber products across the world, including what was that? High-rise building can be regarded as a viable. Okay. Like possible to see world wood as a real. So this seems to be okay. We have tall buildings here too. So this is likely to be the answer. I'm not really sure, but I write it for now here. And G, what is left? Industrial processes, raw material. Can be improved. Oh, you have these numbers. Okay, smelting process can be used in the. Yeah, there is some reference to the process, industrial processes here. So let's choose G for it now. So yeah, it's best to move in this direction rather than the other. We first try to find any of these underlined words in the text or the ideas, but if it doesn't work in 1 or 2 minutes, we should move back from the text to the questions. We read one paragraph quickly and completely, and then we see if any of these items are mentioned in that specific paragraph. So that's it. I guess we're done with this task. We have answered the 13 questions. And so if you have any questions about the process, or if you feel like I could have done something better in the process, feel free to ask in the comment section below. And well, don't miss the other videos of this series, and I'll see you in the next one.